Good morning, and welcome to the Friday installment of Allow Me to Introduce. I've got my tarot cards out this morning because today's introduction is unique because it's the liner notes to CD or a recording of some ambient music by David and Stephen Gordon, the Gordon brothers, and the title of their album. This one is called Music of the Tarot, and it was designed for tarot meditations. And way back in 1998, they asked me if I would write the liner notes and give a brief outline of all the tarot cards. Well, you know, you can't really do that very well in a very short space of time. But of course, I gave it a try. And so, believe it or not, it's not very long. So here are my liner notes to the beautiful music of the tarot by Richard and David Gordon. Not only that, but I'll use visual aids if you don't mind. For centuries, the beautiful and mysterious images of the tarot have captivated the imagination of Western civilization. The earliest examples date from the 14th century, and it is commonly believed were introduced to Europe by nomadic gypsies who used the 78 cards as a fortune-telling device. But as modern students have discovered, tarot is much more than a parlor game. It is a living, evolving picture book of the divine. The entire deck is structured and organized in concordance with the ancient principles of the Hebrew Kabbalah. Each card not only represents a divine aspect of nature, but visually triggers the corresponding psychic centers in the human consciousness. The major arcana, or the trumps. Let me get that out of the way. The Fool. Divine wisdom is foolishness to we mortals. What made the pre-existent absolute forsake the perfect bliss of nothingness in order to initiate creation? We cannot answer. We only know that the universe springs from a great zero. Appropriately, our odyssey begins as a babe in a blue egg, or a handsome young fool, neither male nor female, gazing guilelessly into the sky before stepping off a precipice into a vast abyss. Tumbling through the void, the fool becomes the all and is transformed into a progression of archetypal characters and images. As the magus, the all has become the self-conscious, directed, concentrated will. This cosmic magician functions as a conduit, transferring that which is above to that which is below. The weapons of his magic are the wand, with which he creates, the cup with which he preserves, the dagger which he destroys, the disc with which he redeems the world. His counterpart is the high priestess. Only the virginal goddess of eternity is worthy to become the great mother of fertility. Her chaste truth is of such purity that it only can be veiled by undulating waves of light. As the magus is the will of the creation, The high priestess is the idea. The union of the magus and the high priestess transforms them both. She into the empress, the great mother goddess, gate of all life, and he into the emperor, lord of patriarchal power, imperious director of energy. His marriage to the empress is of primary importance to the governance of the cosmos, for their child, the Hierophant, will unite the macrocosm, the world of the gods, with the microcosm, the world of humanity. He is the God-man, symbol of human evolution in the new age, when each of us must be responsible for our own spiritual destiny. That which is above is united and harmonized in each individual with that which is below. There is no bond that can unite the divided but love. In the Lover's card, all of the previous tarot characters achieve their synthesis. Ecstasy dissolves the illusion of separateness. Through the thundering silence comes the oracle of the gods. Excuse me for a second while I handle all these moving parts. Riding as the triumphal king, the knight of the Holy Grail, conveys a precious secret of life in a starry canopied chariot. The blood is the life, cosmic equivalent of evolving DNA, carried by the charioteer through a sea of infinite generations. The process of creation finds the perfect partner in the manifest goddess of adjustment. Or justice. With her golden scales, she equilibrates all energies, forces, and principles. Against the feather of her perfect truth, she weighs the heart of humanity. The hermit stands upon his lonely mountain and gives his light to the world. It is also he who descends into the underworld of our subconscious, and if we allow him, will guide us to the celestial heavens of superconsciousness. From this spiritual vantage point, we see the cyclic nature of creation, an ever-changing, ever-increasing, ever-diminishing wheel of fortune. The power which turns the wheel is the primal, undirected lust or strength of solar energy, symbolized by a beautiful goddess astride a great lion. It is she who now bears the Holy Grail. The still blue waters that suspend the fool as a babe serve also to reflect. Is it you, or is it the hanged man who is upside down? His self-sacrifice is not an occasion for mourning. Death is life itself. The caterpillar dies to become the butterfly. The maiden dies to become the mother. Without the great transformer, there can be no new beginnings. A royal marriage, the alchemical union of opposites, is celebrated in the art or the temperance card. male and female, sun and moon, are conjoined to create the elixir of life. Fire is poured upon water and water upon fire to produce the rainbow seal of a divine covenant. The devil. All matter is born from the blending of darkness and light. The fearsome appearance of the devil projects the illusion that we are hopelessly enmeshed in material existence. But the material world is our school and not our prison. Ignorance and superstition are the true devils that would bind the human spirit. So long as our eyes are closed, we remain in darkness. Old fears and attitudes must be destroyed like a lightning-struck tower. Once illusion is annihilated, true meaning can begin. And illumination arises within like the evening star. Like the images in our dreams, the moon is a portrait of our shifting unconsciousness. She appears to shine, but merely reflects the light. She appears to change shape, yet it is only her ever-changing position to the sun, true symbol of life, light, love, and liberty. Our ancestors, in their ignorance, saw the sun as a dying god, sacrificed daily and yearly, only to resurrect each morning and each spring. So deeply ingrained was this image that we believed ourselves also subject to death. A death that required continual, elaborate rituals to assure our life after death. In older tarot decks, this process was portrayed in the card entitled The Last Judgment. With the new aeon, however, it has come with the new aeon has come the dawn of a new consciousness. We know the sun does not die, nor does it need to be resurrected. Night, winter, and death are all illusion, the simple shifting of a shadow. Our spiritual identity has now shifted from the earth to the sun. As such, we close the cycle of trumps by taking our proper place in the universe, dancing like the divine fool in the center of the belt of the zodiac, ready to withdraw once again into nothingness. Okay. Now, believe me, I'm not going to get out all the rest of the lesser arcana, but I will quickly go through just like I did in the liner notes. And I will, as I go through, suit by suit, through the small cards, I will give the titles and the general trajectory of the trumps in my little narrative here. The minor arcana, the four suits. The ancient Kabbalists divided creation into four descending levels. Every aspect of deity has its proper place within the fourfold structure, including the celestial personages such as seraphim, cherubim, archangels, angels, and yes, even human beings. In the tarot, the four suits represent the four elemental worlds. Wands, fire; cups, water; swords, air; discs, earth. Within each suit is a knight, a queen, a prince, and a princess, who represent respectively the fiery, water, airy, and earthly nature and aspects of each suit. In addition to these court cards, Each suit has 10 numbered cards. The ace is the archetypal emblem of the suit, and the 2 through 10 expose the dynamic inner workings of the element. Okay, here we go. Wands, fire. Representing the highest of the 4 worlds, the wand symbolizes the fiery will of the god, source of all energy and creation and creative passion, dominion, virtue, completion, strife, victory, valor, swiftness, and strength finally degenerate into oppression as we descend the ladder of the wands. Cups, water. As water both mirrors and absorbs light, the suit of cups receives the influence of the wands and directs and nurtures their radiance. This is the heart and soul of God. Love, abundance, luxury, disappointment, pleasure, debauch, indolence, and happiness dissolve easily into satiety as the work of water is completed. Swords. A sword slashing through the air can destroy, defend, discriminate, enforce judgment, and invoke powers, either for good or evil. What better symbol for the perpetual all-creative mind of God? Even the titles of the swords sing of the triumphs and tragedies of the mind: peace, sorrow, truce, defeat, science, futility, interference, and cruelty, end inevitably in ruin. If reason ignores the influence of the will and of the heart. Discs. Earth. Discs represent the manifested material universe. Lowest of the 4 worlds and visible fruit of their influence. Money is the perfect example of the disc. It is a coin, the reward of physical labor, discs, which is directed by intellectual processes, swords, which has been inspired by creative visualization, cups, and motivated by the will to achieve, wands. All things on the material plane are the product of this 4-fold development: change, work, power, worry, success, failure, prudence, gain, and finally wealth. 10. It rewards a courageous traveler at the end of our tarot journey. But the journey has not really ended. The tarot, spelled T-A-R-O-T, is often just simply spelled T-A-R-O. It's not a ladder, but a wheel, a rota, a helix, a snake swallowing its tail, perpetually beginning anew as a great zero. From the divine nothingness of the Fool to the infinite wealth of the 10 of discs, the sequence repeats itself throughout eternity. For is it not a great truth that the fool and his money are soon parted? And that's the end of that. I hope you enjoyed the little slideshow. Tomorrow we'll pick up with starting with part 4 of Allow Me to Introduce, and it's the section on philemic magic. Also, if you're interested in these cards, they are constants in my Tarot of Ceremonial Magic, which after a long time is now finally back in print and available at a normal price. You can get it on Amazon, but it's best to go directly to the publisher Magical Omaha. That's Magical Omaha. And feel free to pick up a 6-pack of these. And until tomorrow morning, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love's the law, love under will.